I'm coming to you live from Uniontown. And Uniontown is a little bit of a distance from the city of Pittsburgh. I'm actually in one of the new strip malls, and the Uniontown Mall is not doing so good, but the strip mall is kind of dangerous for me because there's a Michael's, a Home Depot. Anyway, I don't know if you knew, but Uniontown in the 1900s, per square uh, miles, had the wealthiest population in the United States. That's right. And it was founded July 4th, 1776. So it's going to be the 250th anniversary of this town. And anyway, why am I here today? I'm here because I had a closing. I typically don't go out this far, but people are venturing more and more in different areas, and I'm happy to help wherever I can. Also, what's great about this area is the Laurel Highlands are close by, so skiing and also falling waters, that's pretty famous. Anyway, so let's get to what we're talking about today, which is Real Estate Unfiltered. And today we're talking about appraisals. So here's the thing. During the pandemic, a lot of people had issues with appraisals. So let's just say a house was priced at $300,000 and got multiple offers of $350,000, and the appraiser came and said, nope, it's only worth $325,000. Now I have to say, knock on their wood somewhere around, I have had very, very few appraisal issues in my 22 years. And I'll explain to you why. So one of the reasons why is when I'm on the listing side, I make sure to meet the appraiser. If you just let them go into an empty home by themselves, now the appraisal is the estimate of what the home is worth on that particular day. It's just an estimate, right? So if you can help that appraisal out, especially if that's your area of expertise, and show them all the updates and show them the comps, they haven't all been necessarily in all the houses like we have. They're using data. They're very good at what they do. I'm not saying, they aren't, but I found if I can help them, and I usually have my seller there too, instead of them just going into a house on their own, that we end up not having appraiser issues. Okay, so I want to say that because when I've been on the buyer side, sometimes I'll ask the listing agent if there is an appraisal issue. Did you meet the appraiser there? Oh, no, I let them go in there. Which sometimes that's just how it goes, and that's fine too. Okay, but when you're on the buyer side, you want to make sure the house appraises. Now, why do you need appraisal? If you're paying cash, you really don't, because again, it's just an idea of what the house is worth based on that opinion of that appraiser that day. But the lender does want an appraisal, and the reason why is because the appraiser is the eyes and ears of the bank. So when I've been doing this 22 years, when we had the 2008 market crash, which thankfully didn't hit us too bad in Pittsburgh, a lot of appraisers overappraised properties. So there's a movie called, I think it's called The Great Short, and basically it explains that some of these appraisers said the house was $300,000, and then when it went to foreclose, the bank representative went down and said, whoa, this house was never worth $300,000. Okay, so that's why now appraisers can be pretty strict. They want to make sure it's their license on the line. So if they're not anywhere close to a correct value and it goes into foreclosure, they could lose their license. Okay, so what does that mean for you? So let's just say you put an offer on a house for $300,000. I keep using that number. And you put an offer and you have a loan. So the appraiser's going to come and hopefully they say the house is worth $300,000. Now, typically, they're not going to say it's worth a lot more because, again, they are just there to represent the bank, okay, guys? Sometimes people go, oh, don't you think it should appraise for more? Don't worry about it. As long as it appraises for at least the value, you're good. You're fine. So if it goes over, it doesn't matter. What it goes under is the problem, okay? So here's an example. I had a house, and I did meet the appraiser there, and it was a little neighborhood in Shaler, and the houses were all very similar, but mine had been updated. I had been in the other houses. I had done open houses on the other houses. I knew the difference. And when I met the appraiser, I made my case for my listing. Well, he didn't look at it that way. which happens sometimes, and he decided that the value wasn't there because he decided that the other places, which were not as nice, in my opinion, um, they, and I think most people's opinion, it was worth more. Okay, well, what are you going to do at that point? Well, the buyer can do a few things. They can pay the difference because here's the thing, the bank's not going to give you more money than what they think the house is worth. But you can come up with more money. So let's just say the house was 300, appraised at 295. As a buyer, you can pay an extra $5,000 if you so choose to, if you have it also. But typically what happens is we go back to the seller and we renegotiate because we say, hey, Mr. Seller, the bank did not appraise this house. The next person, if we don't work this out, is going to ask, what's wrong with this deal? Why didn't it go through? And they're going to ask the same question and have the same concern. So, bottom line is, then usually we negotiate. And sometimes the buyers will come up with a little bit more money, but typically, based on my experience, the sellers will come down. And like I said, in 22 years, maybe I could count on one hand that this has actually happened to any of my clients. Um, so we've been pretty good at pricing right. We've been pretty good at getting offers at a good price. And we've been pretty good at putting offers in that are reasonable. So again, at the end of the day, it all comes down to what? A trusted advisor. Make sure you call the right person because believe you me, a lot of people have a lot of appraisal issues, which I don't. So you know where to find me, and I hope you have a wonderful day. And yes, it's a little rainy out, but honestly, it doesn't bother me. I think it's kind of pretty, and I'm in the mountains, so I don't think you can see the mountains from here. But all right, if you get a chance, though, come out to Laurel Highlands, and it is just beautiful and peaceful out here. Have a great day.